Across the globe, hidden beneath layers of earth, jungle, or sea, lie the silent remnants of civilizations past. These are the lost cities, places that once thrummed with life, ambition, and culture, only to vanish from human memory. What forces condemned them to obscurity? Was it catastrophic natural disaster, the slow creep of environmental change, the brutal hand of conquest, or simply the shifting tides of human endeavor? The pursuit of these forgotten places is more than just archaeology, it is a profound human quest to reconnect with our collective story, to understand the trajectory of our past, and perhaps, to glimpse our own future. This is a journey into the heart of those discoveries, guided by evidence and the persistent spirit of investigation. But what truly defines a lost city? Is it a place whose very existence became folklore, its location unknown for centuries? Or is it a city whose purpose and inhabitants faded into such deep obscurity that only its ruins remain as cryptic clues? For archaeologists, lost often signifies a period where a significant settlement was no longer inhabited or recognized as a center of human activity, its structures reclaimed by nature or buried by time. The stories of their rediscovery offer critical insights not only into ancient lives but also into the evolution of archaeological science itself, pushing the boundaries of what we thought possible. Our journey begins with one of the most famously lost and found cities, Pompeii. This Roman town, nestled near the Bay of Naples, was a bustling hub of commerce and culture. Its inhabitants lived vibrant lives, unaware of the impending doom lurking within the seemingly benign Mount Vesuvius. The dramatic narrative of Pompeii offers a stark illustration of how quickly a thriving civilization can be erased from the landscape, not through slow decline, but through sudden, overwhelming catastrophe. It serves as a powerful testament to the fragility of human existence and the immense power of nature. On August 24, 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius erupted with devastating force. According to Pliny the Younger, an eyewitness whose letters survived, a massive column of ash, pumice, and rock shot into the sky. For nearly 24 hours, the city of Pompeii was buried under feet of volcanic debris, followed by pyroclastic flows, superheated gas and rock that incinerated everything in their path. This wasn't merely a burial, it was a near-instantaneous preservation, effectively freezing the city and its inhabitants in time. This unique form of destruction became the very mechanism of its enduring legacy. For almost 1,700 years, Pompeii remained largely forgotten, a silent necropolis beneath the earth. Its rediscovery was not a grand expedition but a series of accidental encounters. In 1599, during the digging of an underground channel to divert the Sarno River, architects encountered ancient walls adorned with paintings. However, these finds were not immediately recognized as the lost city of Pompeii, nor were they extensively investigated. The true significance remained buried, awaiting a more concerted effort to reveal its secrets. Such fragmented discoveries are common in archaeology, often preceding the major breakthroughs. It wasn't until 1748 that systematic excavations began, initiated under the patronage of the Bourbon monarchy. Early efforts, however, were often driven by a desire for decorative objects to adorn palaces, rather than a scientific understanding of the site. Carl Weber and later, Francisco La Vega, began to implement more methodical approaches, drawing plans, and documenting findings. Yet, it was Giuseppe Fiorelli who revolutionized the excavation in the mid-19th century. Appointed director in 1863, Fiorelli introduced systematic quartering of the site and, crucially, developed the plaster cast technique that would immortalize Pompeii's victims. Fiorelli observed that where human bodies had been buried in the ash, voids remained after the organic material decayed. He conceived the brilliant, if poignant, idea of pouring plaster into these cavities. The resulting casts captured the final moments of Pompeii's citizens, their expressions of terror, their postures of despair, even the folds of their clothing. These casts offered an unprecedented, visceral connection to the tragedy, transforming abstract history into a deeply personal narrative. They are perhaps the most iconic and emotionally resonant artifacts from Pompeii, speaking volumes about the human cost of the eruption. Beyond the human tragedy, Pompeii revealed an astonishingly detailed snapshot of daily Roman life. The city's intact buildings, frescoes, mosaics, and even graffiti provided invaluable data. From bakeries with ovens still containing carbonized bread to shops with their wares laid out, the mundane became extraordinary. Historians and archaeologists have pieced together a vivid picture of social structures, economic activities, religious practices, and domestic arrangements in the 1st century AD. This meticulous preservation, born from disaster, has allowed us to understand the ordinary lives of Romans with unparalleled clarity, far beyond what written records alone could convey. From the dramatic demise of Pompeii, we turn to a city that faded more gradually, swallowed not by ash, but by the shifting sands of time and geopolitics, Petra. Nestled in the arid canyons of modern-day Jordan, Petra was the capital of the Nabatean kingdom, flourishing as a vital hub on ancient trade routes. Its breathtaking architecture, carved directly into rose-red sandstone cliffs, speaks of a sophisticated civilization that mastered both art and engineering. For centuries, its existence was a local secret, known only to Bedouin tribes, until its rediscovery by the Western world. The Nabateans, a nomadic Arab people, transformed Petra into an architectural marvel and a hydraulic engineering triumph. They developed an intricate system of dams, cisterns, and conduits to collect and store rainwater, enabling a thriving city to exist in an otherwise water-scarce environment. Their skill in carving monumental facades directly into the sandstone cliffs, most notably the iconic treasury, Al-Khazneh, and the monastery, Ad-Dair, remains unparalleled. These structures were not built, they were sculpted, showcasing a unique fusion of indigenous artistry and Hellenistic architectural influences, a testament to their cosmopolitan connections. Petra's decline began with the shifting of global trade routes. As Roman maritime trade grew, and new routes bypassing the Arabian Peninsula emerged, Petra's strategic importance as a land-based trade hub diminished. In 106 AD, the Roman Empire formally annexed the Nabatean kingdom, renaming it Arabia Petrea. While it continued to exist under Roman rule, its glory days were over. A series of earthquakes, particularly a devastating one in 363 AD, further damaged the city and hastened its abandonment, though some communities persisted into the Byzantine period. By the time of the Crusades, Petra was largely forgotten by the Western world. For centuries, knowledge of Petra's existence was primarily held by local Bedouin tribes, who preserved its location as a closely guarded secret. It wasn't until 1812 that a young Swiss explorer, Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, embarked on a perilous journey to rediscover the legendary city for the Western world. Disguised as a Syrian Muslim scholar named Sheikh Ibrahim ibn Abdullah, Burckhardt convinced his local guide to take him to what he claimed was the tomb of Aaron, deliberately passing through the hidden valley of Petra. His account describes entering through the narrow Seek, a winding canyon that dramatically opens to reveal the treasury. Burckhardt's feat was not without significant personal risk, highlighting the dangerous realities faced by early explorers. His meticulous observations, though limited by his need to maintain his disguise, provided the first verifiable accounts of Petra in modern times. He documented the monumental structures, the unique rock carvings, and the sheer scale of the site. His journals, published posthumously as Travels in Syria and the Holy Land, confirmed the existence of this lost city, sparking immense European interest and paving the way for future archaeological expeditions. Burckhardt's journey stands as a testament to the power of investigative courage and cultural immersion in uncovering hidden histories. From the dramatic landscapes of Petra, we journey to a site where legend and archaeology famously converged, the ancient city of Troy. Immortalized in Homer's epic poem, the Iliad, Troy was long considered a purely mythological city, a backdrop for heroic tales of Achilles, Hector, and the Trojan horse. For centuries, scholars debated its very existence and whether the events described by Homer held any basis in historical fact. The quest to find Troy exemplifies how persistent investigation, sometimes controversial, can bridge the gap between ancient myths and tangible archaeological evidence, fundamentally reshaping our understanding of history. The man largely credited with the finding of Troy was Heinrich Schliemann, a German businessman turned amateur archaeologist. Fascinated by Homer's epics from childhood, Schliemann was convinced that Troy was a real place, situated at Hisarlik Hill in modern-day Turkey. In 1871, he began excavations, driven by an unshakable belief that Homer's descriptions were a literal guide. His methods, however, were brutally unscientific by modern standards. Schliemann, eager to reach what he believed was Homeric Troy, dug indiscriminately through layers of earlier settlements, causing irreparable damage to significant historical strata in his haste. In 1873, Schliemann announced the discovery of Priam's treasure, a cache of gold and silver artifacts he attributed to the mythical King Priam of Troy. This sensational find catapulted Troy into international fame but also ignited fierce controversy. While the treasure was magnificent, later analysis indicated it belonged to a period nearly 1,000 years earlier than Homer's Trojan War, suggesting Schliemann's interpretation was flawed, or even deliberately misleading. Critics argue that Schliemann prioritized finding Homeric treasures over rigorous archaeological method, blurring the lines between discovery and self-promotion. This incident continues to fuel debates about ethics in archaeology. Despite Schliemann's crude methods, his work undeniably proved that Hisarlik Hill was the site of multiple ancient cities built one upon another. Subsequent, more scientific excavations, notably by Wilhelm Dorpfeld and later Manfred Kaufmann, revealed a complex stratigraphy of 9 distinct cities, labeled Troy I through Troy IX, spanning millennia. Each layer represents a different period of occupation, offering a profound insight into the region's continuous human history. This layered evidence forced scholars to move beyond a simple search for Homeric Troy and embrace the rich, multifaceted history embedded within the mound. The question of whether one of these layers corresponds to Homer's Troy, and if a real Trojan War occurred, remains a subject of intense academic debate. Archaeologists, notably Kaufmann's team, have identified Troy via as a strong candidate for Homeric Troy, showing evidence of widespread destruction by fire and warfare around 1180 BC, consistent with traditional dates for the Trojan War. They also found fortifications and a lower city much larger than previously assumed, suggesting a city worthy of Homer's epic. However, direct evidence linking archaeological finds to Homeric characters or events remains elusive, allowing the controversy to persist. From the legendary battlefields of Troy, we ascend into the cloud-shrouded peaks of the Peruvian Andes, to one of the most iconic lost cities, Machu Picchu. Built by the Inca Empire in the 15th century, this breathtaking citadel served as an estate for Emperor Pachacuti. Its location, high above the Urubamba River Valley, rendered it naturally defensible and kept it hidden from Spanish conquistadors for centuries. The story of Machu Picchu is one of strategic isolation, eventual abandonment, and a controversial rediscovery that brought it to global attention, while simultaneously challenging narratives of indigenous knowledge. Machu Picchu is a masterpiece of Inca engineering and urban planning. Constructed without the use of mortar, its precisely cut and fitted stones have withstood centuries of earthquakes, a testament to the Incas' sophisticated masonry techniques. The city's terraces not only created arable land but also helped stabilize the steep slopes, preventing erosion. A complex drainage system managed rainwater, further safeguarding the structures. Scholars suggest it served multiple purposes: a royal retreat, a sacred religious site, and potentially a strategic military outpost, demonstrating the Incas' advanced understanding of their mountainous environment and construction. Machu Picchu was abandoned less than a century after its construction, likely due to the devastating impact of the Spanish conquest elsewhere in the Inca Empire. While the Spanish never found Machu Picchu itself, the disruption of trade routes, the collapse of central authority, and the spread of European diseases like smallpox, which decimated the population, led to its desertion. Over time, the jungle slowly encroached, enveloping the stone structures and obscuring them from outside view. Though not lost to the local Quechua-speaking indigenous communities, who knew of its existence, it faded from the memory of the wider world. In 1911, the American explorer and historian Hiram Bingham III, on an expedition to find the last Inca capital, Vilcabamba, was led to Machu Picchu by a local Quechua boy. The site was known to local farmers who cultivated its terraces, but Bingham's arrival, backed by Yale University and the National Geographic Society, brought it to global attention. He initially believed he had found Vilcabamba, but later archaeological evidence disproved this. While Bingham is widely credited with the scientific discovery of Machu Picchu, his narrative has since been critically examined, highlighting the prior knowledge of indigenous peoples. Bingham's expedition removed thousands of artifacts from Machu Picchu, taking them to Yale University for study. This action ignited a long-standing dispute between Peru and Yale over the ownership and return of these cultural treasures. Peru argued that the artifacts were loaned temporarily and should be returned, while Yale maintained proper permission was granted. This controversy underscores a broader debate within archaeology concerning colonial-era discoveries, cultural patrimony, and the ethical responsibilities of institutions. After decades of negotiations, Yale eventually returned many of the artifacts, recognizing the importance of their presence in Peru. Leaving the dramatic heights of the Andes, we delve into the Supe Valley of Peru, where the discovery of caral supe radically reshaped our understanding of civilization in the Americas. Dating back 5,000 years, Caral is considered the oldest known city in the Americas, predating the Olmecs by over a millennium. Its monumental architecture, complex urban planning, and absence of warfare challenge previous assumptions about the origins and development of early complex societies. This finding compelled historians to re-evaluate the timeline of civilization in the New World, pushing back its beginnings dramatically and adding another layer to humanity's intricate past. What makes caral supe particularly extraordinary is its development of monumental architecture without the presence of pottery or evidence of extensive warfare, which were often considered hallmarks of early civilizations. The city features 6 large pyramids, plazas, and residential buildings, indicating a highly organized society. Its economy appears to have been based on cotton and textiles, traded with coastal communities for fish. The meticulous excavations led by Peruvian archaeologist Dr. Ruth Shady Solis have painstakingly revealed this sophisticated pre-ceramic culture, providing a unique window into a peaceful, highly developed society. Even more profoundly, in southeastern Turkey lies Göbekli Tepe, a site that has not merely pushed back timelines, but fundamentally rewritten the narrative of early human civilization. Dating back over 11,000 years, this complex of massive, intricately carved stone pillars predates Stonehenge by 6,000 years and the invention of agriculture by centuries. Its discovery shattered the long-held belief that monumental architecture and organized religion only emerged after the development of settled agricultural societies. Göbekli Tepe suggests the opposite, that complex social structures and ritual sites may have preceded and even driven the shift to agriculture. The discovery of Göbekli Tepe was the work of German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt, who recognized the site's immense significance in 1994. What he found were enormous T-shaped limestone pillars, some weighing up to 20 tons, arranged in circular enclosures. These pillars are adorned with exquisite carvings of animals like foxes, snakes, boars, and birds, suggesting a rich symbolic world. The sheer effort required to quarry, transport, and erect these stones indicates a level of social organization and cooperation previously thought impossible for hunter-gatherer communities. This was not a city in the traditional sense, but a sophisticated ceremonial center. The implications of Göbekli Tepe are profound. For decades, the prevailing archaeological theory was that human beings first settled down, developed agriculture to feed larger populations, and then, with surplus resources, began to build monumental structures and complex religious sites. Göbekli Tepe flips this narrative, suggesting that the desire to build and worship at such a powerful ritual center might have been the very impetus for people to gather in larger numbers, to organize, and eventually, to settle and cultivate food nearby to sustain their communal efforts. This discovery challenges core tenets of civilization's origins. Just as mysterious as its construction is Göbekli Tepe's eventual abandonment. Around 8000 BC, it appears the site was deliberately buried, filled in with earth and debris, creating the very hill that preserved it for millennia. The reasons for this intentional burial are still debated. Was it a ritual act, a way to honor or decommission the sacred site? Or did the changing social structures, perhaps brought about by the very agricultural revolution it helped spark, render the site obsolete? The enigma of its end only adds to its allure, underscoring how much remains unknown about these foundational periods of human history. The discovery of sites like Caral and Göbekli Tepe underscores that much of our past remains hidden. Today, the quest for lost cities is increasingly augmented by cutting-edge technology. Remote sensing techniques like LiDAR, light detection and ranging, are revolutionizing archaeology, allowing researchers to peer beneath dense jungle canopies and even shallow bodies of water without ever touching the ground. By bouncing laser pulses off the Earth's surface, LiDAR creates detailed 3D maps, revealing subtle changes in terrain that indicate ancient structures or earthworks, invisible to the naked eye. This non-invasive approach is opening new frontiers. LiDAR has already led to stunning discoveries. In Mesoamerica, it has revealed vast, interconnected Mayan urban landscapes, complete with causeways, agricultural fields, and defensive structures, often much larger than previously imagined. Similarly, in the Amazon rainforest, once thought to be sparsely populated, LiDAR is uncovering evidence of complex pre-Columbian societies with sophisticated earthworks and settlements. These aerial surveys are challenging long-held assumptions about the scale of ancient populations and their environmental impact, reminding us that our historical maps of human presence are far from complete. The jungle, it turns out, is a library of hidden cities. Beyond land and jungle, the oceans hold their own secrets. Underwater archaeology, utilizing sonar, remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, and submersibles, is uncovering submerged cities and settlements. From the sunken port of Thonis Heraklion off the coast of Egypt, to the potentially lost city of Pavlopetri in Greece, these discoveries offer glimpses into civilizations claimed by rising sea levels or seismic events. The challenges of underwater exploration are immense, but the potential rewards are equally vast, promising to reveal entirely new chapters in human history hidden beneath the waves. The Earth continues to guard its ancient secrets. As technology accelerates discovery, so too does the need for careful ethical consideration. The debate surrounding Schlieman's methods at Troy or Bingham's removal of artifacts from Machu Picchu serve as stark reminders. Modern archaeology emphasizes respecting cultural heritage, collaborating with indigenous communities, and prioritizing preservation over mere acquisition. The question of who owns the past, and how it should be interpreted and presented, is central to the ongoing work. These sites are not just relics, they are often sacred places, ancestral homes, and sources of identity for living peoples, demanding respectful stewardship and shared understanding. The enduring human fascination with lost cities is more than just curiosity about ancient mysteries. It is a fundamental desire to understand where we come from, to trace the intricate paths of human innovation and adaptation, and to learn from the triumphs and failures of those who came before us. Each rediscovered city offers a unique narrative, a piece of the vast mosaic of human experience. From the sudden horror of Pompeii to the profound spiritual revelations of Göbekli Tepe, these places speak across millennia, offering lessons that resonate with our modern challenges and aspirations. The landscape of archaeological discovery is constantly evolving. With advances in satellite imagery, artificial intelligence for pattern recognition, and even citizen science initiatives, the potential for uncovering new lost cities remains immense. It's plausible that some of the greatest archaeological finds still await us, hidden in plain sight or beneath unexplored wilderness. The ongoing quest for these vanished worlds is a testament to humanity's unyielding drive to piece together its own story, ensuring that the legacy of those who built and lived in these extraordinary places will continue to inform and inspire generations to come.